Lesson 2, Defining Policy. We're going to start with the outermost container, the policy domain. These are some facts about your policy domain. Your client nodes are assigned to them. They're going to be groups of one or more policies. You'll see here we have 2 policy sets shown in this box. You can have multiple policy sets. Your policy domains are stored in the TSM database. All of your policy definitions are stored in the database. Your policy domain can be from 1 to 30 characters. It should be something that is meaningful. The number of policy domains is unlimited. You can have a lot of different policy domains. You would assign a client node to only one domain though. So you could have different policy domains with different retention values for your different clients. Or you could use the standard policy domain with the default values. But let's say you have some files that you're going to need to retain an archive copy for 7 years. You could define a special policy just for that. This way you wouldn't have to have all your policies have archiving set up for 7 years. Same with backup. You have some critical files that you're going to need more than 2 versions. Let's say you need 4 versions. That would be 3 inactive and 1 active version. And you're going to need to retain the last inactive version while the file is still on the client for more than 30 days. You would define a policy just for this. By default, the standard policy might fit the majority of your clients, but for special needs, define different policies. To use the Administration Center to define a policy, you'll click the Policy Domains tab in the TSM tree, select the server, then in the Policy Domains notebook on the server, click Select Action and Create Policy Domain. Or you can use the command line. The command is define domain, the name of the domain, and then a description. Now the description is optional, but very helpful. So in this case, in our example, we are going to define a policy domain called Unix. This will be for all of our Unix clients. Define domain Unix, description, policy domain for Unix clients. Now let's look at the next container, our policy set. You can only have one active policy set at a time, but you can have any number of inactive policy sets. So you can have some additional policy sets that have different management classes in the same policy domain. Then you activate the one you want to use. Now, policy sets are a collection of management classes that will have one default management class. That's the next container we'll talk about. Like policy domains, the name can have 1 to 30 characters, and the information is stored in the database. You can use your Administration Center to work with your policy set, but in the Administration Center you will only be working with the active policy set. To use the command line, the command is define policy set, the name of your policy domain, then the name of your policy set, and a description. Again, the description is optional. Your policy domain name and policy set name are required. In our example here, we are using our Unix policy domain and adding a policy set called lab. Command, define policy set Unix lab description equals policy set for the Unix clients in the lab. The next policy container we're going to talk about is the management class. Management classes, abbreviated as MC, is going to be where your requirements for policies are matched to your service level agreements. Your management class contains a backup copy group, an archive copy group, both or neither. By default, the management class does not require a backup or archive copy group, but they can be very helpful. If you don't specify a backup or archive copy group, you'll be using the default values. 30-day retention for backup, 365-day retention for archive. Clients can select a management class. This is how they are bound to the management class. This is the association. You can use the Administration Center to create your management class. In this example, we are in our Properties page for our Unix policy domain, the one we've created. And our policy set is our lab. We're going to select Management Classes. Select Action, Create Management Class. You can also modify, delete, make the new one your default, or manage pending changes. We'll get into this in a minute. This is basically how you validate and activate your policy. Once you activate the changes, your management class can be used. To use the command line, you're going to define management class, give the name of the policy domain, the name of the policy set, and the name of your management class. Your domain name, your set name, and your class name are required.